Welcome back to Blast Guys Reviews. In this review, we're going to be taking a look at the new Mattel Masterverse, Masters of the Universe, New Eternia, Too Bad, 1/12 scale action figure. These are recommended for ages 6 and above. This is the packaging that it comes in. He is actually a deluxe figure, and he is a big boy. These retail right now for like $32.99 online and in stores. Here's the back of the packaging. As always with these, it's amazing artwork. It looks fantastic. I love the background also with it's kind of an octopus background. Not sure if it's meant to be a character or not. The new Eternia line is like the original designs inspired by classic concepts. So it's basically take the classic look and they give you little upgrades here and there, little bits and bobs to improve it. On design and accessories. One thing I did notice about this, and I don't know what's going on with the whole, I noticed in, haven't done a review for Jitsu yet, but this is another one that has a kind of like a change in its mythos. This back piece says once the respective captains of competing mercenary ships, Tuvar and Badra, both had their eyes on the legendary treasure of the Horde Prime. The treasure, however, came with a curse. It fused the rival captains together and now terrorized New Eternia as Too Bad. With the combined knowledge, Too Bad could rule the universe if it went also for their combined ego. But in the 80s cartoon, originally hired by the bounty hunters, they originally hired bounty hunters by Skeletor, and they're supposed to track down He-Man. But Tuvar and Badger were magically fused together in unrepeatable spell by Skeletor in retribution for their failure to do what Skeletor commanded them to do. And eventually, obviously, became, now they're called Too Bad. A multi-headed creature, which became a mixed blessing for the evil Skeletor. So, I kind of don't know why they got to keep changing the backstories of these guys, because it's not going to help sell the figures, because these characters are already established, so we don't need to try to change it just to get some sales. They're going to sell regardless. On the side of the packaging, we do have some very nice artwork of the character. I love the artwork. It's very, very nice. And on this side, we have the faded out Too Bad double-headed evil strategist on the side. And here's the bottom if it helps you at all. A bunch of legal information. UPC. I got mine at Target.com. They was out of stock in my local Target. And I think you can still get them as of this video. Alright, here he is, freed from his plastic prison. He looks pretty awesome. He is a big figure. Wow. Very nice. First impressions. Wow. I noticed these skin tones as it really stood out for me. You have the two textures here, especially you can see here in his legs. He has this more reptile on the purple side, and the blue side have this more like muscle look, like texture of like exposed muscle. It's pretty wild. Pretty wild. You can see on his head, we do have on the blue side here, we have the red eyes, the white teeth. You have the earring in the side of his head there. Nice, these like rings that are, custom to this character. The blue skin texture. They both share a chest armor, one large piece. Each side has its own detail. On the blue side, we do have the like studs throughout. Then we have these like little spiky triangles, squared, and then we have these little lines here on the straps. In the belt, we do have this two-piece, two different animals, blue and purple. We do have some same pattern here, kind of like the studs versus the triangles on this side. I would have thought maybe on this, at least they put the studs on this side and these little circles on this side, just to keep it in the pattern that's going in. Here on his arm, he has this, like this spike, kind of a gauntlet looking thing. It's pretty cool. That is removable if you want to take that off. This hand, he has a silver gauntlet with silver hand. Over here, we just have a more of like a purplish type of gauntlet, but no glove or nothing, just a bare snake reptile type of skin hand. On the loincloth, also notice this little piece right here. Normally this outline piece comes down around the circle, kind of broken off here, kind of pointed downward. That's pretty cool. Here his belt's brown. He has this place for a pistol. He has the black loincloth. Down on his feet, follows suit with like the gauntlets on the wrist. The shin guard here is the same type of purple. And then over here we have the silver. And he has a boot on versus just a gauntlet and a kind of like a claw foot, like a reptile foot. No. So, pretty cool design, a lot of detail. The back here, we do have this piece that holds a weapon. It kind of has a face on it. Pretty cool. The belt's also removable. You can see here. Take it off right there. Nice looking figure all around. It's kind of hard to get close because he is massive. They did him, justice by making this big. This is one of those characters that just should be towering over the other ones, like Beastman and Too Bad, and I would say Whiplash too. Let's hope we get a Whiplash, maybe a deluxe Whiplash. That'd be awesome in the Masterverse line. I'm still kind of new, so it's kind of wonky out of the packaging. I haven't got him to where he can stand perfectly. The foot kind of sits at an angle, but we'll take a look at that. But let's go and start taking a look at the accessories. First off, he does come with a silver pistol. Pretty nicely sculpted. It's a double barrel type of weapon. Very nice. The handle is pretty good. You can see that it fits pretty nicely in the case. Fits perfectly. Here you can see holds it very, very nicely. The fingers are kind of really stiff, but you gotta be careful. Don't break those. Looks pretty good. If you wish, either character can hold the pistol. It's if you can get one to give it to the other one so they don't fight over it, because there's only one. But you can choose either hand. Works just the same. Next up we have these battle axe. It's like a metallic green. Very unique design. It's very cool. Devastating looking. Handle. It's cool. And then we have another kind of like mace. Spikes on it. Has that same kind of color as the kind of like a purplish color. Ain't no paint on the handle or anything. Very nice. As you can see, they hold them very nicely, very firm. Of course, you can switch them out any way you want if you would like to do that, but it's kind of the way I'm going with them. They're very hard to get in his hands, for one thing, just to note. And no one wants to see them in our hands. I think they maybe should have been a little bit longer, a little bit bigger, just because his, a massive figure. It kind of looks small in his guys. In their hands, at least, he looks very small. Should have been like big, bulkier, just massive weapons. Would have been really good. Here we have this double animal type of a double-sided axe. If you notice, it's the same thing from the belt. Here, two animals from the belt. Guess I kind of went with like maybe this is like the wing on each side of the axe, but pretty cool. This one does have some white paint on the handle, the grip. The other ones are just all one color, so That's pretty nice. And then you get two alternate hands. You get a fist punching hand, and then you get the silver punching hand. That's pretty cool. And then lastly, you do get this shield. It's actually a decent sized shield. You can see how it's even like split in half too. You have the round side and the studded side here. Pretty cool, and that's why I wish it did that. I did kind of mess that up on the belt, in my opinion. And little updates like that have been cool to keep it, the aesthetic flowing. There's the back brown strap, just fits over his hand for a shield. Pretty nice. Here is with the shield. You do have to remove the hand to get it over either hand. So that's pretty cool. There's the axe. Very, very nice. So you have one that can be on your defensive and then one on the offensive attack when they're in battle. Or you can have two offensed warriors at the same time. Kind of a 2-on-1 attack, if you will. So the one thing that's extremely happy for it was the ability to put his arms down. Because if you remember a lot of like the vintage toy, they had that gimmick to where the fists are up like this, and they kind of pull back and they hit each other's fists like a fist bump. But you can actually recreate that with this figure like this if you want. If you do like that feature, he's kind of stuck like this. His arms are in that position. But now, at least with these new Masterverse line, you can put the arms down, obviously, which is fantastic, and he's not stuck in an upright position. So I think he looks 10 times better, even with his fist hands. So that's what it looks like with those fist hands. Very, very cool. I'm trying to do some articulation on here. Now for this side, we have he can look up, he can look up. You notice that one head's higher than the other one, which is really cool. It's a little stiff. Rotation 360 maybe. Yeah, you kind of got to work it though, because you got to get over the next feature of this guy here. Of course, he has no problem because he's higher. A little side to side on both heads. Down. Looking down on his enemies. Pretty cool. The arms are on a ball joint. They rotate 360 all the way around. You see how I had him in that punchy position, so you can get a good inward on him. It's kind of the out like this. Double joint elbows gives you a really nice range for both characters. Bicep cut 360 right here. If you want to bring it down, put him on his waist. Whatever you want to do on both sides. The hands on the fist, they have the in and out like this, basically. Of course, they rotate 360 on both sides, but they have the same joint present to where it's quite stiff on our break. I need to heat this up a little bit. So with that, you can see the joint right there. For the overall waist, go side to side. He's a big boy. Back and forth a little bit. 60 rotations there. Stay super stiff. Wow. His belt gets in the way, as you can see. Just shifted on me. The belt is removable, so it's kind of stuck. So I'm not going to force it until I heat it up. Kind of give you an idea. I'm sure this leg is the same as that one. Don't know why it's giving me a hard time, but we have thigh cuts here and there. Let's do double jointed knee on this side. It's very, very stiff. I didn't even get the other side to come down. See if I can get that. Yeah, it's stuck, so I'm gonna have to definitely get some heat to warm him up a little bit. We have boot cuts also. Boot cut. Feet do pivot up. Ooh. I like the sound of that. I'd watch this one more than this one. Kind of pivot down, get a rocker on them, and then if you can rotate, You can rotate it around the gauntlet if you want. I'm not going to. See how, I wish I kind of would have did that ankle just a little bit better, in my opinion. But he is a very awesome looking character for just to begin with, and to have him in this size and the features that we have is just fantastic. Yeah, so final thoughts on him. Any cons? Let me see here. That ankle on this side could be a little bit better. Other than that, I really don't have too much. I really, really like this figure. I think it looks fantastic. If I think of any more while we finish the video, I will definitely mention it. But what I do like is the overall size. I do like the textures, and the skin is different. Though you get a lot of weapons. You get these 2 battle weapons, a large axe, extra hands, and a shield, a pistol. I mean, that's a good bit of accessories for a figure of this size and price. I know some of the 1/18 scale figures are just like $30, and so this guy's $30 each. So it's a good buy. Other than that, the only thing else I didn't like was, kind of wish that was on that side. It kind of made it, more straightforward for me. But highly recommend this figure. He just came out here a couple days ago. He's like a hit and miss. He's hard to find because everybody's trying to get him. So, but don't worry. You'll find more and more of these as time goes on. So, hope you guys liked this review. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next review.